Ladies and gentlemen, we are soon heading to the third set of GanZi against MVP, and surprise, surprise, we have GanZi with a 2-0 against MVP. Something most people wouldn't have expected. We talked about the players earlier. GanZi is a really, really good TVT player. He played excellent in the last couple of days, but still, he's facing MVP, and MVP is like this unbeatable beast, especially when it comes down to TVT. But he lost the first two games and has his back towards the wall now. He needs to take this third map if he wants to win the Arena of Legends final, the Team Ace Invitational, and that's going to be a hard one.
Yeah, MVP is the unbeatable beast of TVT, but Slayer's GanZi seems to have found the music that soothes the Savage Beast. He is up 2-0, and let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, that the difference between the winner and the loser of this match is a difference of 5 million won. Yes, GanZi is one game away from winning $9,000, about 6,000 euros. What would that be? I guess about what is that, like 5,000 pounds in Britain or something like that. Anyway, a lot of money.
I can actually check if you want. I have a new app on my phone because I was just so confused
to do the conversion. Okay. Anyway, point being though, the loser of this match, the second place player, still gets 5 million Korean won, but it's only half of what the winner gets. So a lot on the line here. MVP, you know, he's going to be able to buy a lot of barbecue if he wins this match. GanZi is going to be able to buy twice as much, though.
A lot of barbecue, you're right about that. So how many won did we have? 10
million won for first place.
Oh, that's a lot of zeros right there.
Yes, it is. And
okay,
so
that would be 8,875 US dollars, 6,445 euros, 5,500 pounds. We would have about 8,000 Swiss francs, 9,000 Canadian dollars, 8,600 Australian dollars, and last but not least, 11,000 New Zealand dollars.
There you go. Does it have yen, Japanese yen on there?
You gotta be kidding me now.
I am kidding you. Don't worry.
I can look it up if you want, but
no, that's
still.
okay. That's okay. Anyone from another country can do their own conversions. We've covered most of the world now. Oh, mosquito buzzing around us. Sorry about that. Distracted me. There are so many mosquitoes in Seoul right now. It's been a little bit ridiculous lately. I have so many bug bites on me. But that's not the point right now. The point is that Shakura's Plateau is going to be map number 3. GanZi is going to be trying to win the entire series. MVP is going to be trying to come back. He needs to win 3 games in a row. GanZi only needs to basically win 1/3 of the remaining games in order to win this series.
But to tell you the truth, if there's a player out there that's able to take 3 games in a row after being behind with 2-0, it's probably MVP.
Yeah, as we were talking about before the break, MVP has had so much experience at this high level that he does not get shaken. A lot of other players would be nervous right now. You know, we've seen actually players choke where they were the favorite and they lose one game or something, and they choke because they get a little bit nervous and they can't play at their top level. MVP is not the kind of player to do that. He's the kind of player that will more likely just, clear his head and say, all right, you know what, every game, just take it one game at a time. I'm going to move into this next game. I'm going to play my best. I know I'm the better player. I know I have the better mechanics. I'm just going to win this next game straight up. And, if you think about it, if MVP does play just straight up, it'll be a little bit different because game number 1, he got cheesed with the Marauder Rush. And game number 2, MVP tried to get this one-base Sky Terran build, and GanZi just countered it. So we haven't actually seen a complete straight-up macro game between these two just yet.
We were talking about it a little bit in the break that I was really impressed how MVP nearly came back into that game. But guys, we are heading into match number 3. The countdown just started. Shakura's Plateau will be our next map. We'll be back in a few seconds. Stay tuned. Here's GanZi against MVP coming up. And here we are, Shakura's Plateau, the third game. GanZi against MVP. At the top right, we have our yellow Terran player. We have Slayers. GanZi, he's ahead 2-0. Did a really good job so far. Really impressive, the player from Team Slayers.
And up here at the top left, he lost a lot more money. He lost 25 million won in, or a lot more won in the Codes finals last season by losing to a Slayers player. Will he lose again in the finals of the Team Ace Invitational? He's one game away. It is I Am MVP.
And I am Caldo, and with me is Moltrap Day casting that final of the Arena of Legends, the Team Ace Invitational. And this could be our last game.
This could be our last game indeed. If GanZi wins this, he takes the whole caboodle. So far, neither player. Let's see. Wait, hold that thought. Looks like we are going to see a barracks first from both players. No gas first for either one of them.
And Shakira's Plateau, especially with positions like this, of course, he can also execute a Banshee play. And it's kind of nice also to try to siege up at the, well, towards the middle when you just get at the bottom of the cliff and you're able to put some pressure onto the buildings of your opponent. That's why most of the players just try to build their buildings a little bit more towards the side of the map in order to kind of secure them from that siege tank attack from the bottom of the cliff. That's always a possibility on Shakira's Plateau.
Yeah, definitely. The other thing about this map is I'm not surprised to see actually GanZi looks like he's going for a 1 racks into a command center without getting that gas, so that's kind of interesting. And I'm not surprised to see it on this map actually because it is easy to hold. You have a second ramp below your expansion, so it's relatively easy to hold an expansion.
Oh, and at the same time we have MVP getting his second gas already.
Yeah, and putting a tech lab on his barracks as well. And is he going to produce? Yes, a Reaper. Very good on this map as well.
So look at the Reaper is able not only to get those scouting information, but also to pick off some of the units. And with 60 gas, we will have him build a factory really soon. While at the same time, GanZi is now getting that command center that Moltrap was already mentioning. He didn't get gas, therefore he has a lot of minerals getting that command center. He will follow that up with additional barracks and of course taking gas himself. That's exactly what's happening right now, taking double refinery, while GanZi is getting a second Reaper and the factory at the same time now. Sorry, MVP that is.
Yeah. So the Reaper's going to go ahead and run around the map. Oh, SCV battle. And the Reaper interferes in the SCV battle. Hey, man.
That was a kill steal right there.
That was a kill steal, exactly. GanZi has his Marines in a spot that's designed to block exactly where this Reaper is going. This Reaper could just die upon impact. Oh! Actually pulls it away. Beautiful there timing, or beautiful control by MVP, making sure he didn't just jump into Marine fire. But doesn't get any scouting information, though. And I don't think MVP even, let me double check, he does not even know that expansion is there necessarily. Doesn't know what's going on in GanZi's base at all. Although the Reaper, oh look at this, the Reaper is going to try again, and again meets Marine fire and is forced to exit. But this time he sees the command center, so now he knows what's going on.
And now we have GanZi getting that factory, while at the same time the Terran player in the red trunks, MVP, is getting his starboard and is getting also reactor and another add-on. He's getting the tech lab, or he already built the tech lab. We have the same move that he did before, building the starport at the tech lab spot. Researching Cloak right now. Going for the Cloak Banshees and entering his opponent's expansion with 2 Reapers and a Hellion. That's a really nice thing to do. And this is going to hurt GanZi quite a lot. It already does.
Yeah, GanZi only has 4 Marines on the map right now, so he's going to have a hard time dealing with this, especially if he lines up his Marines, but a couple more Marines popping out, and he's able to just barely fend off that Reaper, those Reapers. And, oh, Reaper does go down.
That Hellion should really be careful. I don't think it's a smart idea to run into those Marines. At the same time, we have the Banshee about to pop out for MVP. Cloak is halfway done. And he has a second one queued up already. But GanZi now finishing his starboard. He will be able to get a Viking out. And that should put an end to that Banshee harass.
Yeah, he is getting a Viking. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. It's a really smart move by MVP, actually. I like this build. He goes for the Reapers and the Hellion. He takes out a lot of Marines in that attack, and then follows up with the Banshee while he's low on Marines. So he doesn't actually have very many Marines to deal with this Banshee, and Cloak is upgraded, so he could get some additional kills as well.
Oh, look at that. Only 3 Marines, and they are 4 of them. They are already getting a couple of shots by that Banshee, and he didn't exit. Here comes the Cloak. He needs a scan in order to deal with that situation. Here's the scan. taking out the Banshee. No, I don't think he will be able to do that. And more SCVs dying to the harass of MVP, looking pretty good now for...
The scan goes off, but is he going to get the last? No, doesn't get the last couple hits. None of the Marines have fired on that Banshee yet. He doesn't have another scan. He's just trying to force that Banshee to run around.
He should actually just try to go for those kills because the Banshee probably won't survive anyways, and he is in a beautiful position of being able to take out a lot of his opponent's units and forcing those 2 scans as well. That Banshee definitely paid off.
Yep, he did build a couple turrets, so now GanZi's pretty safe from further Banshee harass at this point. In fact, that's why the first Banshee died. It flew within vision range of the turret. Well, it didn't fly within attack range of the turret, but flew within vision range. But here we have the timing attack. Wolf likes to talk about this a lot, how in Korea, oftentimes the Banshee is mostly used to clear up forces instead of SCVs, and he didn't actually attack a lot of SCVs, but he did kill some Marines, and now he's following up with a timing with some tanks, Marines, and a Hellion. Is he going to be able to land this attack? MVP does have a larger army right now.
And here we go, going up that ramp at the same time, going for an expansion, so trying to follow that up. At the same time, assault mode for the Vikings, doing a good job. One of them is actually airborne right now, trying to take out the Banshee, but at the same time, the attack is going off at GanZi's expansion. And this is a lot of stuff that MVP is throwing against his opponent.
Yeah, and GanZi does not have siege mode on the way right now. He's going to have to fight this off manually. SCV is being pulled off the line to try and close the gap to the tanks. He is up close to the tanks, and he targets down the tanks of MVP. Beautiful move. MVP actually had an opportunity to pick off GanZi's tank, but didn't.
Look at that tap. We have 27 workers killed by MVP. This is brutal. GanZi trying to use an assault mode on his Vikings in order to take out workers on his own, but there's still the Terran player and the Rat attacking the natural expansion of Slayer's GanZi. GanZi trying to break through that contain, killing a lot of units in the process, but he's only on 27 supply right now. This looks horrible for him.
Doesn't even get the Banshee with the scan. Oh, is he going to know? He still doesn't even get it. So yeah, GanZi is in a lot of trouble right now. MVP is ahead in supply by, actually, this game is... I just looked at the supply count. MVP is at 55 supply to GanZi is 21. This game is pretty much over. That Viking almost dies. Only getting another SCV kill or 2. So the counter harass by GanZi is doing virtually nothing, and MVP is continuing to contain GanZi while he takes an expansion of his own.
Yeah, that's all he has to do. 8 SCVs against 30. Need I say more? This game is over. Getting a 3rd base now as well. And there is just no way at all that GanZi is coming back into that game. 25 against 63 supply. I have no idea why he's still staying in that game. He needs to sacrifice another scan. And GanZi, well, that push was just too hard. MVP with a beautiful 1-base attack, following up with an expansion himself, but he already won that game. All he has to do right now is play it safe. The only player who can win that game for GanZi now is MVP himself, if he really throws away everything he has, but he won't make such a big mistake. There's the GG.
And there's the GG. GanZi loses game number 3, and MVP is on his way to getting a comeback. He still has to win 2 more games to win the series, though. GanZi could still take map number 4 or even 5 to win the series. Still very close, but MVP showing that he still has it. He's not going to go down without a fight.
And I'm really relieved. I was so afraid that we could see a 3-0. I was like, okay, if GanZi is going to win that game now as well, that would be horrible. But he is not taking the 3rd game, so we will have another match. I would love MVP to tie the series right now so that we could observe a 5th game. If it all would end in one last battle between those 2 players, I would really love that. The next step will be Daybreak. And both players are joining the lobby right now. Walter, what do you say? What do you think? Are we going to see a 5th game?
Well, I don't know, man. I mean, I think we might. MVP, I think, is probably going to have the advantage in a straight-up macro game. And even though I said last game MVP was probably going to fall back to that, it was actually GanZi who went for macro. MVP won with a timing attack, but I think on this map we might be more inclined to see just a straight-up mechanical battle. When I say mechanical, I mean the mechanics of the players although it could be a mechanical battle as far as the units as well. We might see some tank versus tank, some mech versus mech. Both players have been known to go mech and TVT in the past, and we might see that. But anyway, it's a very, very large map, very long rush distance, so it's very difficult to get off a timing attack or a rush attack. So we might see a big macro game. It's very easy to take a third base on this map.
MVP against Supernova, one of the matches took place on that map as well, and both players went for that 14cc. We might see that once again, which is basically exactly, well, the reasons for that are exactly what you just mentioned. It's a really big map, the attack distances are very, very long, so getting a 14cc is something that you can definitely pull off on a Daybreak. And we are heading into the game right now. The countdown started, so we will be on the 4th map for this final in just a few seconds. GanZi against MVP.